Hello, my name is Peter Parfitt. Welcome to the new Brit workshop. We're doing technology today, and in particular, we're going to solve my data storage problems. I'm going to tell you all about the ZyXEL NSA 325 media server. Now, don't let the name media server fool you. This is a network storage device, and this one holds 6 terabytes of data. Now, the ZyXEL NSA 325 is, in effect, a mini computer. And it is certainly very mini. And its purpose in life is to provide you with data storage on your network. And that network could be at home or in the office. And that data can be made available to you either on your own local network at home or in the office, or remotely if you're on business or away from home and you wish to access data on the NSA 325, you can do so. Now, I said it's like a mini computer. Well, it's got a computer processor in there which looks after all of the functions of the box. And inside here, there are 2 drive bays. And I've installed 2 3 terabyte hard drives. It would give me a theoretical maximum capacity of 6 terabytes. Now, the NSA 325 without hard drives costs about £80, including VAT in the United Kingdom. These hard drives are 3 terabytes each, and I bought them via Amazon, and they work out at about £85 each. It is connected to your network via an Ethernet cable which plugs in at the back here. And that either goes into your BT Home Hub, your network router, or your fast gigabyte switch, whatever it is you have on your network. Once connected, and it also has a little power supply, you're then able to turn the machine on and off with this button here. It has on the front a fast USB 3 data port, and on the back there are a pair of slower USB 2 data ports. Now let me show you how easy it was to set up once everything arrived from Amazon. Now I'm following the installation instructions, which says to remove this little cover from the front of the machine, and then you take a pair of these brackets. Now you do need to note that they're marked top and bottom. And if you look inside here, you'll see where the connectors are, and they're on the left-hand side as I look at it. So therefore this hard disk, the top is here. So I take the one marked top and I'm going to fix it on very simply. You do need to take great care when you're handling hard disks. There's a lot of delicate circuitry which is exposed. Try not to touch any of it because you might have static electricity on your hands. It's a good idea if you've got an earth point somewhere near you that you touch it with both hands before you start an operation like this. So that's that side. There we go. And as soon as that's done, I recommend that you put it into the machine so it's safely out of harm's way. And that's that installed. Now we do the next one. Turn it over and then put it safely out of harm's way inside. And now we can return the cover. That's that. Now to install it is very simple. All I do is plug in the power lead and plug in the Ethernet connection. Then turn on the power, and then I can turn it on. And you'll now see it go through its startup routine. It's going to check the hard drives. It's going to check all the other bits and pieces inside, and eventually you'll end up with 3 green lights. And that takes a few seconds, and when it's all set up, I just forget about it. That's it, done. There's a quick start guide inside the box, as well as the CD. On the CD is the very comprehensive set of instructions, as well as all of the operating software. Install the CD in your computer, and if it doesn't auto-start, find the setup.exe file using Windows Explorer, double-click it, and away you go. now I had done some filming of me setting this thing up from scratch, but actually I don't think you would learn any more than if you follow the very well laid out instructions that come on the CD. The English in the instructions leaves a little bit to be desired here and there, but it is very, very easy to follow. It's very comprehensive. It's over 570 pages. But don't worry, you don't have to read every single page. Just read those things which are relevant to your setup. Now, when you first start off, you've got to get the NSA 325 identified by your system. And so there is a little utility called a NAS seeker, and that's a network attached storage device seeker. And basically it's a bit of software you run on your computer, it's contained on the CD, and it then looks for the device which I've got sitting in that cupboard. That's the NSA 325. It finds it, you click on it, you say connect, and away you go. And once you've done that, you then end up with the main ZyXEL screen, and you can then configure the whole thing exactly as you wish. Now, the one thing I will remind you to do is to turn your firewall off during this installation process. You can turn it back on again afterwards. And make sure you change the admin password. It can be up to 14 characters long. I suggest you make it 14 characters long and make them random characters as well. But make sure you have that secretly written down and put in your safe, because if your computer goes wrong, you need that in order to get access to your NSA 325. But other than that, it is a dead easy bit of kit to set up. Now, one of the things I wanted to do early on was to create some folders of my own. And so the first thing I do is go into administration, give the password. Well, it knows me now well enough. There's my password. And that takes me to the administrative screens. And I'm going to go deep into the admin. At this level, I'm sorry, I'm hiding some bits of data now from you again. And a directory is called a share. And if you look on the left-hand side, there is an option that says shares. And all of these different headings here are covered in their own chapter or their own subchapter in the very comprehensive instructions. The only thing I found odd was that directories are called shares. So I go to shares, and there it lists all the various directories that I've already created. And I can create a new one by just pressing the Add Share button up here and then filling in the detail. I have to remember who I want the owner to be. I could make the owner a guest, someone who uses the network, but it's not me. But in my case, I always leave it at the root ownership, which is admin. And then you need to think about the permission type. The permission type can be either public or private. If it's private, it's only available to me when I'm logged on to my network. If it's public, then it's available to anybody who's on my network, but nobody else. And there is another option, which is you can have it as published, in which case anybody on the internet can get at that, potentially get at that data. I don't do that. It's either private or public. So I can create directories to my heart's content here. Now, we've now seen how to create directories, and I had at first tried to do it from File Explorer by right-clicking on the NAS directory root level here and going New Folder. And I got this error message saying, you need permission to perform this action. I then realized, of course, that you have to create root level directories in the NSA 325 administrative software. However, if we take a directory that we've already created, and I've created one called Woodwork, and then if I right-click on Woodwork and say New Folder, I've now created a new folder. And I could rename this to become PP1 or whatever it might be. So you're able to create folders, rename them, provided you have initially created its parent folder in the NSA 325 utility. Now, my principal reason for getting the NSA 325 was to store the vast quantities of video data and the many thousands and thousands of photographs that I've created. But it describes itself as a media server, so let's just look at that side very briefly. There's a button here on the main screen that says Media Player. If I click on that, I go into the Media Player option, and there's a number of choices here. I can look at my media by folder, artist, or whatever. I'm going to click the All button. So this is all my music now, and if I double click on a track, away we go. We're playing music. Now, connected to my home network, I've got a TV upstairs, and that's connected by cable to my router down here. And for those music files, those videos, and those photographs that I've made public on my network, you can look at them from any device that's connected to my network. And that TV is just one of those devices. Now, one of the really nifty, neato things you can do with the NSA 325 is to copy or synchronize files via the USB port at the front. And just above the USB port is a button which is used to initiate the copy or sync process. And we're talking about copying or syncing files between little memory sticks like this, or even hard drives or cameras, anything that usually exchanges its data via a USB port and might be seen as a storage device by a computer that it is attached to. Now, you do all the setting up using the admin utility that we saw earlier. I'm not going to show you that now. I've created a temp directory which is on the 325, and at the moment it's empty. There's nothing there. I'm going to put in my USB stick now. It's got one file on there. It happens to be the instructions for the gadget. I'm going to press the copy sync button there, and that's got the process going. And there's the file on the gadget. And I can open that, and that's the instructions for the machine, which are now sitting on there. And they're not on that memory stick. Now, the ZyXEL NSA 325 is exactly what I need for my data storage, but it does a lot more than I've been able to show you in this short video. Go to the ZyXEL website and have a look at the detailed information about the 325. It's really, really brilliant. You can use it as a media server. You can use it for doing peer-to-peer file transfers. If you're away from base and you need to access information on your home network, you can do so through this, and there's much, much more. It is absolutely brilliant. You can consider this to be your own personal cloud, and it's a cloud that you've got control of. I would not trust any of my data to a cloud service provided by anybody because I have no control. Now, I got my kit through Amazon, and I've been absolutely delighted with their service. But before that, I tried a different supplier, and they chose to put the hard drives into the NSA 325 before it was shipped to me, and that was a disaster. I really recommend that you buy the NSA 325 empty and buy the hard drives that you want separately. On the ZyXEL website, it will show you a list of compatible hard drives, and it's very easy to do the installation. You've seen me do that. So, bottom line is, this is an excellent bit of kit. It will suit someone doing work like me. It will suit a little small business. It's particularly useful if you're a photographer or video maker because of the high storage capability and the fact that you've got your data backed up. I really recommend it. It's brilliant kit. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.